All right, well, peace, peace, peace. First and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High your house shall is blessing your day. By His mercies, you are consumed. We're alive in the Most High your house shall's body. And two are naturally alive, man. And I want to get into this, man, because this is a quick thought, real quick. And, you know, kind of get into this because, honestly, like, shout out to the brother that's from Assembly Firstborn because he mentioned this as well. And this is the thing a lot of times too. This is all this dynamic comes from again because a lot of times too. I've even said this before, man. Like just this misconception of a grace period, and there's never like even in the word there's no like like really grace period, man. That's gracious and grace. That's who the Most High house. That's who they are. Now, like you said, this long suffering. That's hold on, my bad. Yeah, my bad about that. But don't get twisted. Now, long suffering is what they are, man. But honestly, like here's this dynamic too, man. Because here's what we about to get into. Because even I'm mentioning, well, the brother even of Sakari, I'm not sure he's still doing it whatever. But Gorilla Hebrew, pretty much, he mentioned this one time. It was very true. I mean, despite all the stuff about that situation. I don't even know all details, but about that. But he did say something like a while back or years ago that I heard, or like a while back that was very true, man. Because here's the grace and long suffering, like I mean the long suffering, man. Because he never says anything about the grace period. But here's the thing about the Most High house, how it works, man. Here's that Ecclesiastes. Let's get to Ecclesiastes 8:11 real quick, man. Because honestly, man, because it's a balance type of thing, man. Because honestly, like because you know what it is too. Let's get Ecclesiastes 8:11. Because here's the thing, right? And this is where all these alphabet agencies, the FBI, CIA, DEA, ATF, where they get it from. Because sometimes, right, like no, I'm gonna read this, then get into like the explanation for it. So, because let's get it real quick. Ecclesiastes 8:11. It says, because a sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Because you know this too, and the brother, he mentioned this, the Gorilla Hebrew one time, and it was true. Like despite the message rather than the messenger, because all that other stuff I don't really care about, but he did say something that was true. This is a while back. Like that's where these alphabet agencies, the FBI, CIA, ATF, DEA, all that stuff they get from. Because sometimes, right, when those big cases, they have sometimes like they're very patient, right? They say, know what, we're not going to bust this cartel, this crew, this big kingpin, this organization just yet. We're gonna let this play out a little bit. Then like wait it build up. So then when we get them, it's like okay, you're a guy, and we're gonna get all this stuff like get all this stuff for your rap sheet, like pretty much of what you done, like your offenses, your breaking of the law, and that's going to be against you. Because what can you say? But but in the organization or the big kingpin or the cartel or whatever like crime organization, in their mind, they thought like when they weren't getting away with it. I mean when it kept happening, when nothing was happening, or they thought they were getting away with it. No, like said alphabet agency, they were just patient and long suffering. It's the same thing. That's where that dynamic comes from. It's the same. That's where that dynamic comes from. It comes from the Most High house, how they operate, man. Because that's all. Because even Second Peter goes into that, man. Just because like things aren't executed speedily, people are going to do what they want to do until like And I remember watching the reel with a brother, man. I think and he was really he said true, man. No, man, keep that, as they say, keep that same energy, man. All the stuff you said about the Most High house, how you live your life. No, man, that's what it is. But he's more talking about scoffers and things of that nature. But that's really true, though, man. But it's the same thing. Now it's a balance too, because sometimes those alphabet agencies, like the CIA, ATF, DEA, whatever, FBI, they'll get somebody just then and there, depending on what they're doing. It's like, oh yeah, he got to go, like now. See, but you see where this dynamic come from, honestly. Like how much more with the Most High house shot, the most. Let's get second address 719 real quick. Because this all goes. I'm using this as an example, because this all goes into like the whole grace period thing. No, man, the Most High house I said that they're gracious, is the stuff like that in their name when they declare their name in Exodus 34:6, Numbers 14:18, Jeremiah 9:24. But let's grab this. It says 2 Esdras 7:19, and he said, "There is no judge above Yahweh, none that understandeth the highest. So see, yeah, man. So how much more with this? It says 2 Ezra 9:17. He said unto me, there is no judge above Yahweh, and none that have understanding above the highest. So see, yeah, that's just with natural, man. Because you know what? But here's where the faith kicks in, right? Like, that's where because you know what, it's too, like the brother Semi Firstborn said, right? Because really, a lot of times too, especially our people, man, or just people in general, they fear Esau's, like, prison system or court system more than the Most High house shot, more than hell, more than judgment, man. Because it's even talking about me. That's why it's Sirach even says, man, be mindful of everything you do, because remember the thing, that everything that you do, because you're gonna be judged for it, pretty much, man. Remember everything. Let's just go right there real quick. Because I remember even watching the first, even speaking of crime organizations and stuff like that we talked to, I remember watching this first season of BMF, and the mom said this perfectly. She said, she's talking to the character of that Meech, played by his son, Little Meech, man. She said, listen, like, the things that you do doesn't affect what you, in this life, but in the next. And I was like, yeah, man, I wish I could find that, man, that episode, man, because that was real talk what she said. But let's grab this real quick, man. Because I think it's 7:36. Ecclesiastes, yes. Ecclesiastes also known as Sirach chapter 7, verse 36. Whatsoever thou takest in hand, remember the end, and thou shalt never do amiss. So yeah, man, exactly. It says remember the end, man. So yeah, man. So it's all a balance of things too. Because yeah, going back to the point what we are saying. Because why? The reason why? Because a lot of people like fear Esau's like judgment more than Most High house judgment. Not really. No, that's pretty much is the Most High house judgment. But they fear their law, their system, rather than like the judgment, man. The Most High house has hell, eternal judgment, man. So because why? Because they can see it. Because you can see the court system, you can see a cell, you can see the prison, you can see that stuff. But that you can't see. So that's where that 2 Corinthians 4:18 comes in. The faith is on the unseen. In Hebrews 11:1, that's where that kicks in as well. But it's a balanced type of deal right there, man. Because honestly, because a lot of people say because something we read this something right here, because a lot of people want to say, oh wait, because remember what he said in the in the parable in Luke 18 about the widow, right? He said, I'll avenge you speedily. Somebody might read that and say, oh, but right here it says just because judgment isn't executed speedily, so it's not. No, it's about we serve a balanced God, because just like that, certain things in the word, and and the Most High in your house shall punish somebody immediately. Some people he didn't so that's just is what it is, because there's no judge above him. He'll show mercy on who he'll show mercy on. He'll judge who he get, because he does. And Psalm says David said he, and Sirach said he does whatever he pleases. But also too, man, you're not gonna act like natural man doesn't do that. Certain times like we just said, certain alphabet agencies, FBI, DEA, CIA, ATF, certain people they wait for their big bust to get that big drug kingpin mob crime organization. But sometimes they'll just get them just there, right. Sometimes they say, no, we're gonna get this person now. So or this crew is strictly it don't matter, man. So that's just is what it is, man. Because this all goes into the whole grace period type of thing. But that's just is what it is, man. So yeah, man, that's just is what it is, man. That's something else I had to say, but I want to say that, but we want to talk about. But yeah, man, that's is what it is, though, man. Because that's really how to it's a balance, man, type of thing, man. But yeah, man, that's just honestly, man. Because let's get this Ecclesiastes 8:11. It says, because the sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Oh yeah, let me say this too, since we mentioned it. People like David, he lived out his judgment, because a lot of people don't think he did. Listen, y'all don't realize what happened to David after what happened to David after he did what he did. So yeah, he lived out his judgment, man. So that's he didn't get away at all. If you honestly, because. But I get it, especially me even when I first kind of came into word a little bit. My first couple times, I'm like, well, okay, dang, I already knew. Listen, the Most High house, I was going to have mercy on who He has mercy on. But it's not really that start reading it, watching other classes. No, man, if you really go into David, didn't get away at all. That's pretty much opposite, man. But that's an example since we're on this topic. But yeah, man. That's just what it is, man. But it's similar. That's where that dynamic comes from, man. Just like these things, these life and these dynamics come from the word, man. It comes from Most High House shine the word. Just like you know, how men don't want their woman or their wives talking about their other past significant others in the past, or their ex-husbands or ex-boyfriends or ex, don't bring that to me. Don't I'm not them. That's why the Most High Yahshua said in Joshua 24, leave those other gods on the other side. If you he said in Judges, go be with them then. So that's where one dynamic comes from. Even like this dynamic, like when certain times people just sit back and certain even that the alphabet agencies aside, and those big criminal investigations, or those big departments aside, right? Even regular people do that sometimes, man. Even your parents did that sometimes. They say, okay, cool. They constantly, because when you do because when you do something like that, see, that's how the Most High House as a mastermind. Because when you do that, you let it's that's what he says in John 5. Listen, I'm not gonna accuse you. One, here's the thing. You going in that day, that's what it says. It says in second that your own sins will be accusers in that day. What can you say? Because one, the Most High house shine the word, the law. That's the three. And see, that's where they're on heaven, on earth as is in heaven type of thing, man. Because listen, isn't that three witnesses? The Most High, Yahushua, in the law, they'll be witnesses against you. So yeah, and you can say the angels too, but angels really they're all on the court with the Most High Yahshua. So yeah, that's what it is. What it is, they're not going to do that. So that's what it is, man. So I just wanted to go and get into that, man. But honestly, because this all goes into a misconception of a grace period, man. That's not really a thing. But the Most High Yahshua is long. So let's get it. He's slow to wrath. He's long. They're long suffering. But it's just not like the grace period. No, grace, of course, we already know is nothing new. That's just really from the beginning, man. So, yeah, man. That's really thought. I was just thinking about this earlier. I actually had this written down. Well, a few months ago, we wanted to talk about it with on here. We should have talked about it, discussed it more, man. But it just slipped my mind until now. I was like, yeah, until shout out to the brother, send me your firstborn, man. That's why, and shout out to all the because what it is too, again, that's where we all get the inspiration of this word through our lives, man. We've seen the Most High House shine every aspect of our life, man. But yeah, man. But because shout out to brother Semi first one too for even mentioning that, man, because in the classroom, because that kind of brought that back to Most High House. I brought that back to my remembrance, man. So we could talk about it on here, man. So yeah, man, I'm trying to think of a good example of that, man. Another good example of they just waited and it all this. I don't know. I can't think of another example of that, but yeah, man. Anyway, man, hopefully it's edifying, man. So much love to y'all, brothers and sisters. So peace.